And I think, therefore I am. Hold on, wait. Let's take a look at this one real quick. It's kind of fun. Start things off a little bit fun. I didn't get a chance to edit it. Sometimes I think. Hold on. We're going to come back. And then I forget. Oh, we got to. Hold on. Having issues here, people. Because I didn't edit it. I didn't pre-edit it.
Sometimes I think. And then I forget.
That's awesome.
Sometimes I think. And then I forget.
Yeah, and then I forget. Oh, God, hold on. Let me get rid of that. I actually wanted to save that. I want to put that one in something.
Yeah.
Let's close him down. Let's stop him. Mute him. Sometimes I think. And then I forget. Yeah, totally. All right, let me see what you guys are doing. All right, the volume should be okay. See, Mitch is here. He says, "Good evening, Arch. How's the weather there?" Madhouse says, it's cold as well. Digger's ass outside. Mitch says, same here. Bravo says, "Hey, Archie." He goes, FIE on, what does that mean? On you guys up north, sending you your weather down here. It's 10 degrees out here in the deep south. I know, right? 16 here. It's actually a little bit warmer than it's been this past week. Mitch says, we have had a as cold as 2. Yeah, pretty much about 6 we've had here. Bravo says, holy cow, looks like somebody from Somalia. Papa, hey, Poppy says, hey, Arch, hope you survived this week. Oh, my God, fellas. I'm going to show you a little bit about what I did this week outside. Pretty much, we got hit pretty good. My daughter was laid up in Tucson, and they were trying to drive back this way. And I think I mentioned you guys just stay there. So she stayed a couple of days and then got on the tail end of that storm. And her friend, one of their friends was in a separate car. And he wanted to go down to Carolina, I think South Carolina, to visit his grandma. So I said to her, because we were talking about this, I'm like, you want to get away from Tennessee and places like that. You want to go through maybe Ohio and whatever. So that's what they did. Was they went through that area, and some of those areas deal with snow, and the roads were mostly clear, and they got behind the weather. So it had gotten sunnier out, and they only drove during the day, and they had their stops, and they were able to get all the way up here before the storm that you guys are getting hit with. We're not getting just yet. But their friend, the direction he went through, he got stuck in Tennessee. Like, it was like 5, 10 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour, one lane, maybe. Everything is off to the side. As you guys have been following, some of you know, because you live in that area, it was bad down that corridor there. So initially, when they were traveling, I said, stay south. But then I said, no, cut through the north of Texas. Because I told them, I said, at the time they wanted to leave, I said, either you leave now and you hurry and try to drive as much straight through as possible and get up here, or forget it. Well, they couldn't really do that because they had their friend in another car. So he did make it, but it just took forever. And of course, everybody knows that trying to drive through that is very stressful, very tiring. But they got up here. I was actually just over at my future in-laws' house a little earlier. I got a nice cupcake over there. That made the trip back. So I'm waiting on that, waiting on the cupcake. And you just kind of have like a little get-together, a little party and a partay. So they're up here. I don't know what's happening here. The snow that we did get was about 1 foot. It came in 2 waves, about 6 inches or so on the first run. And then it seemed like it did like another 6 inches. But on the later run, it started to turn to ice pellets. And it was kind of like raining, but it wasn't. It was hitting frozen territory, frozen ground and frozen, everything was starting to freeze up. And it really was like frozen rain and didn't melt. Usually here we'll get warmed up. So the bulk of the Great South Bay, our bay, is frozen. And we were talking, and the lake over here, which is huge, they're ice skating on it. Okay. That hasn't been since my daughter was very young, and Liz and I took her out on the bay, and we were talking about that tonight. We actually took Christina out on the bay, and people were ice fishing and ice boating and having a gay old time. And I actually was able to walk with Christina about halfway out to Fire Island. So for those of you that know the area. Now, it's not very deep in that area. It's not any deeper than the lake over here. Both are just as deadly. The fresh water will freeze better and freeze up quicker than the bay, which is still pretty salty, but that just gives you an idea. So we were way the hell out. It's kind of freaky. It takes a bit of getting used to, so we hung out there. But this was years and years ago. So we did have a lot of storms, and then subsequent to that, we would just get rain and wind and some bit of snow, which would turn to rain. And that went on for years. But when this kind of stuff here reminds me of when we were kids in the 70s and very early 80s. Like this is like what we would get. So I had to clear the bulk of the yard. It took an entire week. Because it was so cold, I could really only be out there for about 4 hours. And I wore out my really good pair. Well, I wouldn't say they're really good pair. My friend Matt Visceral, he bought me a pair of boots, like snow boots, proper snow boots. You see them, I wear them in the summer. I wore them out. I'm wondering, why is my heel getting wet? Well, I came in, dried them off, and I looked, and I'm like, this is a gigantic hole. I can put my finger right through. So they kept me warm. I've been double socking, and that just does not work. My feet don't fit right. It's hard to walk. My right foot, I think, is bigger than my left. It's wider. And now I'm starting to limp. And it's cold. Like, if my feet get cold, I'm not staying out. I just can't handle it. It's like 6 degrees. And then it was like maybe 13 degrees. So I'm out there moving snow around, which is really just ice. But I got most of it out, and I got my customers out, and I don't have any more customers right now, and I don't want any, and I'm trying to get some of my shit, and I broke a snowblower, and then I'll show you in a bit, I had to dig out the 826, which was encased in ice. And so I went back to the plow, and I just gave up on that snow thrower, and I was talking to my friend Rob yesterday, but I'm like, it just is too much. It's going to require too much work. I don't have the time to fool with it. I got the plow back on. Between that and the snowblower. But the snowblower, once like a day later or so, we get a little bit of melt from the sun. And then I had like 2 or 3 inches of ice on the bottom where everything had settled. And you're not getting that up with a snowblower. You can maybe skim across the top of it, but you're not getting that up. So pretty much everybody's back and out and doing the thing around here because we're pretty much used to it. But I don't know what we're going to get tomorrow or whatever. I'm seeing a lot of you guys are getting pummeled. We're all getting this cold, severe cold. I went to tie something up the other day. I'll show you. Just to tie up the old snow thrower. And I made a spot for it. I had to dig out the 826. I'm like, okay, we'll skid this snow thrower out of the garage and just shove it in that corner. And I went out the next morning and I covered it with a tarp. By the time I got done with the tarp, my fingers were just in pain. Like I just could not move them anymore. The last knot was just like brutal. I'm like, I have to go in. Like, what am I going to do? I can't stay out here like this. That's what you do. You just deal with it. There's Robert. Yeah, Robert. Yeah. Yeah, we were chatting about that. Robert and I. Pushing 60 here by midweek. Can't wait. Yeah, right? Well, I don't see it happening. It's 16 now. We'll see what tomorrow brings. I know a lot of you guys are getting pummeled. I took some pictures of the new future in-laws and Christina and her fiance, and I'm going to send them down to my brother David, which is down in North Carolina, and right around in an area where they're going to get pummeled. So I want to find out how he's doing. Is Jamie. Hey, Jamie. Yeah, Robert, RW says beautiful sunny day, 80 degrees here in AZ. David Morrison, hey David, lucky this nor'easter is staying mostly off the coast. Yeah, would have been difficult to pile it up. Yeah, because it would have been a pile on top of this. Now I got areas that, and you'll see a little bit where, I tried to move back as much as I could when I could. Like put the effort in now, because if it stays frozen, it's going to stay there. If it wets up, and then freezes again, oh, it's really going to stay there. It's like concrete walls. It'll evaporate, but I have piles this high all over. The only thing I didn't get out is I can't get into the basement door, which would be nice. And I pretty much, all the doors are open. The shed is a little bit, to open them is a little bit beat. This door over here, my main entry door to the garage, it won't shut right now. It doesn't latch. So I've got it bungeed, right? And usually when I walk out and go to close it, a couple of pops and it'll latch. But sometimes it doesn't. So I'll go in to make something to eat or get something and I'll look outside. I'm like, oh, the shop door's open with the heat on. Great. And I can get it shut at night and lock it. But the building is moving. Everything is all weird, It's kind of fun in a way. It's nice, but it's just so damn cold. I got my skirt on and I got my feet all wrapped up. And I think tomorrow, because I was out, just, out for a little while tonight. I think tomorrow I'm gonna hibernate in here. Like I'm not coming out. Not gonna happen. I'm just gonna try to stay warm. Once I get the shop warm in here, I can get it warm in about 2 hours or so in here. It's still drafty. Like if you're walking around, whatever, you need to have shoes on or really warm slippers or whatever, and your feet will get cold for sure if you're just walking around, you're not working. I miss my good boots. I think I'm going to laminate a piece of tire rubber on the bottom, right? Because it's like slick, and then the holes are popped in. So I pumped in some caulking and put some RTV in a few spots, but then I got too busy to finish. So I know somewhere around here is a piece of nice tire rubber. I'm going to coat it with some high tack and let it set up and then drop it down and trim it. And just so I could use them a little longer. Like my daughter and I started looking at some nice boots, but I really don't have the money just right this second. And I don't know. I could buy like another pair like that. Maybe get the same pair, but they don't last, They're coming apart, But they're high. And when the snow is like this, you don't really want to, with like ankle high boots, you don't really want to step down in that. Right? That does not end well, like when it's like 10 and 20 degrees. The whole week was like 20 degrees. I'm out there fooling around working on stuff. 20 degrees. It's like after a while, like I got to go in. I can't take it anymore. I feel like my face is all like sunburn, like cold burn, Like isn't David Coldburn? Cold burn? Or there's a sunny day. Cold stinks, yeah. But that's the time of year. Morrison says the snow is staying mostly off the coast. Yep. And Papa says, did anyone buy the blower you haven't been able to sell before? I sold that, at the beginning of the season. And I didn't get as much as I really wanted for it because when I sold it, I didn't know we were going to have this. But I did manage to get rid of it. So everything is gone from back there. But the thing is I have work back there that I want to get to. I can't get to it. I can't get to it yet. I'm not even going to try. All right, I'm going to work on my computer. By the way, Rob, RW, I got up this morning, came out here, turned the computer on, through another missing driver, DLL code 22 or whatever. I'm like, jeepers. So I tried putting in some different drivers, older drivers, and I did it differently manually. And obviously it's working because we're on right now. I was telling you guys I tried a different USB-C adapter card. And this is like the one, it's just, you can't really see it's in a box, but it's in the computer. So this one I bought like a year ago. And this one's very fast. And the camera plugs into it. And then that card plugs into the motherboard of the computer. I tried this one, was the one I showed you last week. It's in the box, but this is the 4-port. It's actually a 5-port. And I plugged it in. It wanted drivers. I gave it the drivers that same manufacturer, by the way. I gave it the drivers that they said. When I loaded those drivers in, one of the drivers didn't want to load right. I got a driver to load. Same manufacturer, just it's a little slower and it's 4 ports instead of 1. And I tried passing my camera through it. I was hanging out last night with Rob W. He was keeping me company. And I couldn't get the camera to go through it. Like, I managed to get all the drivers loaded. There's an extra USB port on the back end, like a blue one, like a 2.0. And I was like, well, can I plug a thumb drive or something into it? I mean, it's just a USB port. I don't know if you can see it. Try to, yeah, you see it. That blue port. It wouldn't register it. So I don't know if it's dead. I didn't have time today with everything else I was doing, and I wanted to, you know, go hang with the future in-laws. So tomorrow, if I feel like I have the energy, although I'm working on a video for a really big snowblower, that big tracked snowblower I showed you guys, and it's a long video. It's going to be cut up into sections because I went over everything on it, and I'd like to get that out. I'd like to get it done, get it out. So I don't know. We'll see what I do tomorrow. It depends upon how I feel. You know, nothing is so pressing. It's Sunday, and sometimes it's nice just to sit with my blankie on and put my feet up, eat crap food, pizza, coffee, watch stupid YouTube shows, catch up on a few things, maybe a movie. I mean, you know, maybe a little bit of video work, put my feet back up. You know, who the hell? It's Sunday. I don't really want to do anything. You know, that's what I want to do. That's not true. I do want to do something. I want to do that. But yeah, that blower did sell, so that was good. But I didn't know. I mean, it would have sold for a lot more next year. I guarantee you, people will be looking for snowblowers, and I might even buy one if I can get the right price, just to have kicking around. So my big green snowblower broke. I got most of the snow removed with it, and the snowstorm before that. And then I brought it out like another day later, and I wanted to clean up a few areas around the vehicles, get my daughter's car out, what have you. And I went back there a little bit, and I came up, went in front of the door, in my back door, and I think that's where it died. The day before, during the storm, it wouldn't, I was trying to drive it out, my back door's here, it wouldn't blow any snow. I pulled the cover off of it. It's a red belt. There was just red debris all inside. It was slopping around and loose. I adjusted the cable. I went out the rest of that day for the storm. It lasted through that. Pretty much got almost everything done. Followed up with the tractor that night and the next day. And then when I went to use it again, it was like, oh, you're done. So I ordered a Stens belt, and then through Amazon. And that won't be here till like February 2nd or 4th. I'm like, well, that's not good. And I also ordered, they had on sale like 2 cheapy belts for like $11. And I'm like, okay, we'll buy that too, because why not, right? I mean, it's a good emergency belt, whatever. But they're not going to be here. So I wasn't sure what this weekend was going to be. I'm still not sure. So I'm like, all right, we got to go rescue the 826. So let's take a look at the 826, because it's always one of my favorites. Mad says, Madhouse. Let's see, hold on. RW says, pizza for the first time since October for dinner. Nice. Robbie's trying to catch up on his A1Cs and pull a few pounds off. That's like I always telling my family, like, I got to get some new clothes and stuff because I got really skinny. My fat pants, I had to hang up. Actually, we're giving them away. They still haven't made it downstairs into the container for, giving stuff away. But yeah, I need some new pants because I had another nice new pair of pants, and of course I wore them to fool around with a battery, and I destroyed them. I'm such an idiot. Sometimes. Well, I got lazy. Robbie says he lost 41 LVSs. Nice. Let's see. Madhouse says, well, Tuesday I will be paying for the 3-blade 40-inch mower deck for the GT tractor. Yeah, I saw your little video. Said you mentioned that. Yeah, cough it up, bro. David Morrison says, it could be possible that USB-C card isn't getting enough power. Ah, yes. Wattage from the motherboard. Perhaps it has a separate power slot on the card. You need to come to my other channel. I did launch it with one video. It was just like one of the videos that I already have out there on this channel, just like a short music video. And it got a total of 3 views, one of them which was mine, right? So you got to come over there. Yeah, so take a look at this. So Robbie RW and I was telling him, and that's a great pickup on that. Absolutely. Well, one of the reasons why I got this card was because it has a power connector on the back of it. And yeah, this is a better light. This light, is that light here? Or did I move it? I might have moved it. That light, the other light's a little harsh. And I hooked up a SATA cable to it. And you can see it's a SATA connector. Oh, look. See that little, it's right here next to the blue one? That's a SATA connector. And I went and I downloaded the correct drivers, and then this morning, I think it was, or maybe it was last night, I don't remember. Every day's the same. I read the manual, right? And it says it's optional. So it doesn't need it to run the card and for the operating system and the device manager to detect the card and for you to load the drivers. And it doesn't need it probably if you're just using one or two high-powered devices. I tried it with the power connector on. I tried it with the power connector off. I even tried to rig up like a Molex conversion, and I don't think the computer wanted to start. And Rob was on the phone and went, uh-oh, I don't think it liked that, Rob. Like, discontinue effort, right? It could just be that my computer has got so many high-function things in it. It is an older motherboard, as good as it is. It's just time. And everything is, you know, computers are like the kind of computer I need and want. Like, it's just so fucking expensive. I guess it's going to have to happen this year. I really can't do it now. I just don't want it. How I'd rather do it is wait for the spring to come, maybe get a couple of, you know, good months in with working here and YouTube, paid off like my credit card or pay them down and then ring it up again. I mean, that's the only way I could see doing it, because the kind of computer I want is an easy $1,500 to $2,000. This shit, that motherboard, all that stuff when it was new was expensive. The processor, all of that was expensive. And that was in yesterday's dollars, which were worth more, whereas today's dollars are not worth very much of anything. And everything is more expensive. Let's see. YouTube is complaining that my bit rate is too high. You know? Yeah, of course they are. Oh boy, they're really recommending a much lower bit rate. It's higher than the recommended. Okay, well, that's nice. Let's see. Yeah, so the good call on that one. Brett says, hey. Mad says, yeah. Hey, David Morrison. So let's just take a look. Let me put this away. I wanted to show you a little bit about. I haven't really seen it because I've only loaded this stuff off my camera and onto my mirror drives, and I just haven't had time to really look at anything too much. So I'm just going to scroll through it. Well, let me set up. We're really going to make a clip out of this thing, huh? That's right. Couple of drags, put it out. Couple of drags, put it out. Let's see here. Make sure I got everything on. Let's move this to here. Where are you? Yeah, I'll move you to here. It's so snowy. It's going to make you feel cold. That'd be my guess. Not old, cold. Let's see what this one is. Something with this one. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's buried back there. All right, so the van is stuck, but we're not going to worry about that just yet. Yeah, it's stuck. And it was stuck. We got at least one vehicle out. She's at work. Hear the crunchies? We got over 100 feet of driveway that's mostly cleared. We got to get the 826 out because another storm is coming and I may not have the belt for the 30-inch Craftsman in time. And it's ice damming here, which is a problem because it's destroying my roof line. So that's going to be encased. This is very heavy. This is basically ice. Ice and snow and chunks. So, although I do need to get back here out, if I'm either today or tomorrow, we'll see. I'm not too worried about that because the registration is on the way, so I can't drive it anyway without getting arrested. This was over here, as you can see, and I can't push it all at once because the tractor can't get all that traction because this ground is still icy and frozen. But if I got, cut it on an angle, I've been moving it. So let's let's continue to dig more of this out of the way anyway. Just get it out of the way. This is a good spot for a pile. Then we'll drag this out, and then if we have to drag that out, I'll just hook a chain to it and drag it this way, and we'll get it freed up. And the mission again is today is to get that in the garage. It's too cold to even attempt to start it today, and it's getting too late. So it's now about almost 2 o'clock, 1:30. So things have warmed up enough. Although we lost the sun here, and I got to get the big piece of crap snow thrower. Well, it's not a piece of crap. It's just not. We're just not ready for that. So if we can, right, this is passable. I can make it a little bit more passable. And my daughter's car, that can wait because I don't even think she made it to Ohio yet or anything. I'm not sure. But we can make a spot here. That's where it went, was over there. We can't get to the back door. This has all been snowed over. But the sun's been out, and it'll be out again tomorrow. So if I have to come back to that, we can toss the thing outside somewhere. And which we'll do in a little bit. And if I have to come back tomorrow, the other problem too is my good snowboat boots blew right through the heel, and they're leaking like a sieve.
Yeah.
And the only thing is that keep my feet warm. So everything else that I'm wearing, once you're out here for an hour or two, whatever, I have to go in, warm up, and put a different pair on. So I can't stay out too long. Let's try this out. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, Jamie goes, there's always tomorrow. I know. Papa says, fire up the barbecue. I know, right? That'll melt it. Right? We got to fire up the Barbie. I know. The Barbie is now fireable. You can fire it. It's out. Well, actually, no. It's still kind of encased in ice. Let's turn this down a little bit. Let's back drag. Go, baby, go, go. My little tractor. She's a champ. It's a bunking Bronco. Dig, baby, dig. Oh, let's back drag. It's getting cleaner. That's the 826 over there.
I gotta go warm up for a minute.
Yeah, I bet. I think.
Well, that's a little bit better. I just had to go change my boots, warm up my gloves, and get warmed up a little bit. I shoveled it in here and broke up the ice, and it will move a little bit now. Not much. I can't really move it, but
It
it's very
sounds
heavy.
painful.
So I want to see if there's some way I can get to something. We'll take some of this covering off and see if I can get to something I can wrap a chain on and then just drag it out. And once I get it out, yeah, this is storm breeze now. It's sort of free. Yeah, still a little tight here to get the car through. My daughter's car, but we can widen that. I'll put the barbecue back later. Shove that back there, not a problem. And I made some more room on the left. Cut some troughs in here. I can work on that later. I widen up by the door. we're pretty close to getting this out. Probably tomorrow, depending upon what the weather does.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah, and
it's better.
You have to move a lot. I'll bring around when
Oh,
I get a
wait, here we go.
chance. Make a mess everywhere. Right, we'll let it warm up. So this guy I'll bring around when I get a chance, probably closer to the weekend, and we'll split the case. We'll make it ready for the belts when they come in. Yeah, this old geezer. Oh, she's going to be hard to turn over. I can guarantee that. There's still ice in it. And I got out some of the ice. It was covered fairly well, though. Took a while to get the cover off. Yeah, you would not want to try to pull on this big old motor right now. She still needs a tune-up and a few other things. There's some stuff not quite right, but it should run. And if we can get it running tomorrow, I'll run it for a little bit. And maybe we'll even do an oil change on it. It's busy on it anymore. And I never could get it right. I have another one. Motor goes, it's just like when you need it and it hasn't been used in years.
Yeah, on.
So I think what we'll do is we'll pull the plug.
Yeah, so I did do a tune-up on it, which I'm going to make a little video on as well. This is some of the footage, and I got to run it again. I cleaned her up, and you can see here some of the... This is after I cleaned her up, and I got her running, and I used it. So we'll take a look at me using it real quick, because this is a separate video that I'll make at some point.
Oh, yeah. All right, good enough for today.
Yeah. I did that the next day.
Oil's in it. It runs. Bar cleaned. Checking everything out. We got a little bit of lubrication, and she's kind of cleaned up. I didn't test the drive, but it should work.
Yeah, it works fine.
It is a little bit problematic because we have some broken things on the drive. That's all. I covered that in the video that I did on it. But, yeah, the silicone with a quick, cheap, quick rag, that does a nice job. I mean, there's no hoses or anything. Now, hold on. I can't walk.
It's tight in there.
Yeah, a little silicone in there. I mean, I'm not going to go over my whole usual. First of all, it hadn't run much since I built it or rebuilt it and lubricated and did everything. That's number one. You could see it didn't get all that dirty. It has been cleaned and run in the fall and spring when I put it away a bunch of times. So...
It's badass.
I would say...
It's a tank.
It is what it is. We'll find out tomorrow. We'll get it outside tomorrow. I got to clear a little spot for my daughter's car to get that out. So that's test one. That's job one. And then
all right. Let's go to the next thing.
Out of the way,
so the green one,
concrete when it's 20 degrees at night. I might do that tomorrow, but I'm not feeling any.
All right, that's good. So the green one is in nice shape. It ran pretty good. I have another carburetor for it, and it just needs a belt replacement. So that's going to be a video just doing the belt on that. And then I was testing it. So here's a couple of tests of the 826. It did good. I didn't show a lot. Yeah, here we go. That's mostly ice. That's like chunks. It's hard to control, this thing. There's like no safeties. Any more?
It's starting to get, a little bit wetter. I mean, that was all ice earlier.
Yeah, it went through this.
But I managed to cut a path through here. It blew this back. I was able to cut a path through here. We should be able to get it out.
Yeah.
Just going to let it warm up.
It's out.
And it's running. You can hear it. It's fairly smooth.
Yeah, let's try this one. Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah, that's deep.
Rooster tail. It got a little lean. I had to open up the needle jet a little bit. Eat the snow, baby. Eat the snow. She's heavy. And she ate my brother. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, all right, coming back. And bye. Yeah, she did good. So that's it, back in business. Oil's changed. Like I said, I'm going to make a little video on that too, of just kind of going over the 826 tune-up, getting it running again, that kind of thing. I want to try to get the project that I'm working on now, I want to get that done. That's that big tracked snowblower, 30-inch. So this is a 26 wide. My green one is like 30-inch, 11 horsepower. That runs very nice. That's got a lot of modern stuff on it. And it doesn't need chains. It's just got big tires with big grippy, knotty, treads. And so I like them both for different reasons. Now that the 826 is all tuned up, it really to start it, I need a bigger handle, a grip handle on the pull cord, because you really want to start it with two hands, especially at my age and everything with my back issue, because you're not supposed to torque when you have lower back issues like mine. But if you get started, you put your foot on it, you kind of get it pulled out, and then you plant yourself, and then you go like this, she will start right away. And if you want, you could dribble a little fuel down the spark plug hole, which is what I did initially to get it started. I also put some of my magic sauce down there, pulled it over a bunch of times with the plug out, and let it sit like that for several hours while I was doing other things to it. But the thing is, though, those old Briggs carburetors, it probably needs to come apart again. It will start and run. You have to babysit the choke until she starts to warm up a little bit, and then you can take the choke off, and it wants to run a little rich. So you have to, that Briggs too. You just reach down and adjust the needle off its seat, open it up a little bit if it seems like it needs a little bit more, and it did. When I was doing that little side area, it almost went to stall, like it was running out of fuel. So because it was nicer out, it got nicer out, and the barometric pressure came up. So it was different than, like storm day. And I just reached underneath, gave her a quarter turn or half a turn. She cleaned right up and didn't argue with me anymore. And that's what I like about these old things. Yeah, Mike is here. Big Mike says, hey, everybody. He goes, I love my electric start. I know. Well, I had talked about, putting the Decummy on it. And, that is something that can happen maybe next year, whatever. Yeah, the electric start. The other one, the green one, is electric start, but it's a big 11 horsepower Tecumseh with the cast iron sleeve. Now, that's nice. That was another reason why when I saw that and Mikey dropped it off, he's like, you want it? You want to sell it? I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, sell it? No, I'm buying it, bro. How much? Work me a good deal. I'm owning this now. It needed a bunch of work. It still does need a little bit. But she's really in fine shape. Fine shape. Mike's got a Craftsman, a smaller Craftsman with the tracks on it as well. And what'd you pay for, like $50 for that? He rebuilt the carburetor or replaced it. Hey, Scrub is here. He goes, Scrub Hub, is the barrel auger better than open blades? Where is my Scrub Hub? Am I wearing it? No, I'm not wearing the Scrub Hub. It's here somewhere. Is this it? Oh, I like to collect hats. Yeah, here we go. Make sure there's no bugs in it. Scrub Hub! Hey? Scrub Hub! Nice. Yeah, is the barrel auger better than the open blade? Well, an interesting thing is, and I should actually show this in the video. So both of those snow blowers that I have are big barrels, but the 826 that's in the second stage. That barrel is really big. And the 826 in the front has a big barrel in the front, it's not open. It can grab a lot, as you can see, it can put a lot through into the secondary barrel, which is huge, where the impeller is. And also, part of the reason why it's big in the front
is, now one of the guys told me, he says there are pins inside, but they're not like standard pins. So the open barrel design has the pins, right? The shear pins. The 826, that, by the way, that's what the green one has. Open barrel design, slightly smaller secondary, shear pins. The 826 has a sprung-loaded mechanism inside that sort of auger barrel. And on the scraper pulls back. And if you get, let's say you suck in a newspaper that's frozen, and it gets pulled in, it will pull that scraper back, and it will disengage the augers. And no snow will come out. You shut the machine down, you go in there, you dislodge the offending item, no shear pins necessary, everything snaps back, just make sure that it's clear as snow or whatever, and you're back and start up again. So it's got some really cool features on it, for sure. And then it's got the rods. I started talking a little bit about it, you know, what you just saw, but I kind of scrubbed past that. It's got these rods that you pull, and they engage the drives on the wheels from up on the console, old school. So if you want it to go more in one direction or the other, you pull up or push down the corresponding drive rods with those big handles on. And so if they're all down, then it just will plunge straight ahead. But if you're fighting, and I actually was trying to fight that area where I was next to the van on the driver's side. And so I used only one of the wheels because otherwise I was fighting it and it hit the van. So I just used one of the wheels, and it was more than enough to get through. The chains help a lot on those old tires. I have another set of those old tires too. And I could put better tires on, or bigger tires on, but I got the chains, I got plenty of tires, I got a spare machine buried, you know. But yeah, I mean, old equipment is neat, you know, if you can get all of the parts and everything working in one spot. But with the big green one, the 826 is now my backup. Yeah, Big Mike says, nice. Nice. Yeah, and like, it's nice stuff, you know. Let me see if there's anything else. It is nice stuff. It was a lot of work to get all that crap running. I'll just show you real quick the cards on the computer. I don't want to stay too much on that because I know a lot of you guys aren't. But just so you can see, I'll just roll through it real quick. I'll bend down and we'll roll through it. I got to bend down. Bend down! All right. I know, I used to work with a guy. I don't know if you remember Robbie, RW. You remember that guy? I don't know if you were there anymore. Remember when we worked at GLI and there was that big, like, really nice, he was a really nice guy, but he was kind of like a big heavy set dude. I think he was Puerto Rican. He used to walk around all the time going, bend down, bend down. I'm like, bro, what are you saying? What are you trying to say, man? Yeah, bend down. What do you mean bend down? I'm not bending down. All these weird memories. Yeah, GLI. I looked to see if that place was still in business. The equipment that they used to sell is kind of coveted by DJs today. I don't know if you remember all that stuff, Robbie. But yeah, we'll just take a quick cruise through this. Just blast through it real fast. Make sure the audio's on. Now, I did blow it out recently. And we'll get a look when it's
where's
on
the
its
audio?
side.
Yeah, here we go.
But I want to get in here and just blow it with some compressed air, even though I did
That's
it already.
the monster.
A buddy of mine's got, I think it's a 2060 or 20-something Ti.
2070?
This is a 1070 Asus. He's got the Asus in the next model up. And I'm just going to give him a couple $100 for that. And he'll ship it over to me. He's in another state, but we share stuff a lot. But we'll get in a little bit closer. I just want to blow it first, but you can see the stack of drives in there. So I've got two 12 terabyters on the bottom, these reds, in mirror. So that's basically my main dump. Then I got an 8 terabyte backup, a 4 terabyte, just general Western Digital Blue, which we're going to swap out in the future with a bigger one. And then you got all these OPSIS drives up here, just standard drives. And
OPSIS is the operating system.
Essentially, it's just laid out in here nice. This thing needs to be washed. Like we need to take it apart. Now heat's on again because I just blew everything out again and opened up a couple of windows. So that's the card down there. You'll see it right there. It's small.
That's the USB.
Right? But it's a 20 gig.
The one that I'm running now.
Now, what I'm thinking is, if I get that other video card, notice. It's funny, I went to record and the heat just came on, so I shut it off. I did change things a little bit. So I moved the 500 gig NVMe up here to the black slot. That's direct to the chip. So that shouldn't cause any problems. I took it off of here, which is part of this, right? The expansion chipset.
The multiplexer.
And this stayed where it was. We put this card in here, which is in the expansion.
That's the new one.
Slot. And then my 1 terabyte NVMe is where it was, right? Which is
That's
in
good.
the black
right,
slot, which is us.
I don't know what I'm doing there. That's some stuff I was just describing. That's the other side of it. And I started having problems. I'm like, okay, we're back underneath, you know. Just looking at some of the blinking lights.
All right, so it will not work with the new device.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
I just wanted to show you all the blinking lights. Can I get in here a little bit?
Oh,
yeah, see the drive.
It's pretty.
Blinking. Now I reinstalled. I left that card in.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of have it propped up, right? Because how else am I going to... How else am I going to get in there? I'm not disconnecting everything. That's not going to happen. So, yeah. Welcome to computer land. So the system I'm looking at is like a Threadripper, but of previous generation. Because the current generation Threadripper is, well, fully loaded. Could be like high end for actual video editors that do this for a living. That's like $10,000. That's never going to happen. But I can set something up for a couple of grand on the very high end. That would be more than fast enough and last for a very, very long time. And I could connect everything I want to it, which is kind of a dream, but we'll see. Because right now, every time I go to like connect my camera to this computer with that capture card, when I start my computer up every day, it's a crapshoot. A lot of times I have to, it's not working. The computer comes up, that device manager shows that adapter card is not working. I can either shut the computer down again, power off the computer, repower on the computer on the switch on the back of the power supply, try restarting it. Then it might throw a code. I have to reload a driver. If it takes it, great. Sometimes I have to restart it after that. What a nightmare. So, yeah, it's too many things plugged in. I'm running out of resources. There's driver conflicts. There's issues. I'm not taking anything out of the computer because I need all of it. I'm using all of it. It is what it is. Welcome to older gear mixed with newer gear. Scrub says, oh yeah, I already got that one. So that's just how life is when you're a YouTuber and you like hobbies like this. But that stuff will be on my other channel eventually. Meantime, I got to really work on this channel because I've got a whole bunch of videos to get out. And I've been slowly kind of in between, everything else. But I'll catch up to this stuff sooner or later, Tonight was fun. I was just, out of the house for a while and just hanging out. And, trying to take it a little bit easier today. I was actually up a little bit late last night working on it. And I was talking to my friend Rob while I was doing that. What are you going to do? Shit doesn't always work the way you want it to. Something changed. Could be a Windows update. That's notorious for screwing up things. But Big Mike, what are you doing? What are you working on? Where are you? Is everybody dug out? I mean, I don't know what's going on out there right now, but for those of us that are up in the Northeast, hopefully everybody's dug out. In the dugout. So I'm dug out. Almost completely dug out. I got to get into my shed. That's about it. In the basement door. And then I'm good. And I help the neighbor and, I try to do that, when they need it. I kind of move things around a little bit. Let's see. Brett says, he goes, I got him on Old Frank. Huh? Who's Old Frank? Oh, Chains. Papa goes, oh, yeah, wait, hold on, wait. Yeah, Madhouse says, I saw that Craftsman limb. I need that thing fixed. I need that. That's mine. I need that thing fixed. We need to go over it this year because I need it. I got stacks and stacks of limbs and crap.
And I want to make wood chips out of them for the for the flower beds and everything, the planting beds and the shrubbery. Papa goes, do chains make a big difference in a snowblower? And he goes, I get it for the tractor. Yes, yeah, for certain ones. For the 826, it makes a difference. For the big green guy, I don't think it would make a difference. I don't seem to need them. The 826 needs it. And the tire, the kind of tires, I mean, the 826 does have a smaller tire on it. It is a smaller machine, really. And that's old rubber. It's really gnarly, knotted rubber, but it's harder rubber. It's an older design. And yeah, they definitely, especially in ice and stuff, the chains make a big difference. But the green one has a much bigger tire set on it, and they're very aggressive. And they seem to work fine. So I don't think I would ever need to put chains on them. I think I probably have a set, but I don't think I would need to. So, yeah, definitely. And Brett says, yeah, he's got him on old Frank. Yeah, yeah. Old Frank, that Craftsman snowball, you're like, yeah, I saw that. Let's see. You want to take a quick look? Let's go take a quick look. This, I think I know what he's talking about. Let's see. He goes, Big Mike goes, I'm clear. Snow is displaced an hour by hour. Yeah. Just move it. Let's go see if we can find Brett's channel record. Just going to spin through it. But yeah, he's got this kind of neat old, I saw it the other day. He put up a little video. I have to somehow navigate to his channel. Let's see. I'm just going to Google search it. No, actually, I'll go to my channel. And then I'll search it from there. Let's see. Will come up. Yeah, here it is. I think this is one of the old ones. Is this the one that's more recent? Hold on. Yeah, this is it. Hold on, fellas. Yeah, I just love the old-timey look. Hold on. Yeah, let me put... As soon as we're done with this, I'll put a link in the description. I left it a little bit loud. Here, let me get... Let's see. Close that. Minimize it. Let's grab the link. I'll copy it. And then let me come back. Sorry, I left it a little loud, fellas. And let's go here. Just in case somebody wants to check it out. I'll put it in here too, but most people don't see it. My stuff doesn't come back up. But let me edit. Can I edit? They changed where everything is. They changed the whole YouTube layout, so I'm not sure where everything is. That's end stream. We don't want that. That's camera, webcam, manage. I don't know what manage means. I don't feel like clicking on that. It used to be like an edit right next to it. What's this? That's reset. That's copy. No, don't want that. Share. Add stream marker. Maybe they took it out. Insert ad. No, I don't want an ad. What's this down here? Channel level settings. Nope, don't want that. Yeah, I used to be able to edit like live. I could drop stuff in. Engage with your audience. No, I don't think that's a thing now. I can close the widget thing out. Yeah. All right, well, I don't know. I don't know what the hell they did. They changed stuff. What's that? No, that's not it. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what David says. Let's see. So I put it in for now at least. I'll leave this up and I'll put it in later. I'll just minimize it. Eric. Hey, Eric. It's 16 years old. Only used Supreme Fuel and fires first pull. Always getting a great workout this winter in Central Ontario. Yeah. It's these things. Well, the one that I'm working on, the video, the big red one with the crawler tracks. That's a 20-year-old machine, and you'll see it. It did need everything going over. Give it a good lick, but. Other than that, there wasn't anything really bad with it, but wait till you see the carburetor on this one. And the compression was a little low, and I talk about that a little bit in the video. I didn't test it afterwards. She's gone. I was under the gun. I had to get it done. But it was low. And I talked about that in the video if you want to watch that. David Morrison says, he goes, do you have to manually lock the hub on your Craftsman? Yes. I have an 8 horsepower, 27-inch bought in 2004. I keep it unlocked for light snow and moving it around. Yep. For deep snow, you have to lock them together. Yeah, and on my green one, there's a knurled knob, and you just turn it. You turn it, and if it doesn't lock in right away, as soon as the machine goes, it will lock in. Same thing when you don't want it locked, you just pull it out a little bit, it's sprung load, and you turn it. Now, I know they can break, but if you keep them lubricated, it shouldn't break, and that stuff is still available. And that works great. On the 826, it's the levers. And on that big tracked Craftsman, it's you pull the drive handle down, the safety handle down, and then you pull it. It's cable operated, right? So then you pull in like the little bicycle throttle things, right? You pull both to go on both or one or the other. And that's kind of neat. But that's cable. On my two machines, they're hard mount style, less likely to break. You don't have cable issues. I don't really care. Something just made noise. I don't really cables, wet weather and salt. Yeah, I don't think so. I like hard levers. I like the levers with the linkages. You can tell when they're starting to wear out. They give you heads up. And then you can replace them. And a lot of that stuff you can fix yourself. And some of the little ball joint ends and everything, you could get those online. You can go to McMaster Car and get nice ones. If you can't find them factory, parts or whatever, and you don't want just knockoffs, you want quality, you can get all that hardware at McMaster. Yeah. And Brett says a true 7 horsepower becomes a Snow King engine on that beast, and you do have to manually lock the wheels. Yeah, it's a 1977 model. Yeah, that is a much older one. I did a comparison video of it next to a 2019 model. Yeah, check out on Brett's channel. That was how I found Brett years ago, because he did a comparison, and I was just kind of fooling around with in the space. It was around the time when I started my channel, and I was just kind of fooling around in the space, and I'm like, oh, look at this. I like comparison videos. I think they're fun. Fun to fool around with. What's our timeout? I want to go in a little earlier. We're an hour and 5 because I am tired. This week was brutal. Between the cold and everything, I was doubling up on vitamin D3 and B12, and then I have that cupcake. Let me get the cupcake. Which there was some other cake there too. Let's see. It pretty much made it back. I think it made it back okay. It's a little disturbed from the effort, but yeah, it's a little bit on the tinfoil. It lost a little bit of its hat, right? It's a little twirl on the top. But everybody said it was good. Everybody had one except for me. This is mine. Real cream. When you get these things from certain bakeries, not like the packaged garbage duty or Dunkin' dildos. Like when you get the real cream. My ex-wife makes really good real cream, like fresh cream. This one tastes a little bit too sugary, though. Yeah, totally. That's got too much sugar in it. I can tell right away. Way too much sugar in it. In fact, it tastes... I'm not even sure what sugar it is. It does taste a little synthetic. It tastes okay. I'm not sure what else is on top of it. It's got some kind of sparkly things. Probably some kind of toxic metal that now they sell over the counter to put on top of cake stuff. Yeah, the whole thing's got these little sparklies in it. Is that a good sign? I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't tell. But there are these little sparkly things. See it glittering? I can see it. It's glittering just a little bit. See it? It's like twinkling. Yeah. Let's have heavy metal in our cupcake mix. Great. They will feed you anything. Like these companies. Like they don't care. They don't get in trouble. Yeah. Because you look like you were back in the 80s licking the foil. I am a child at heart, right? Still. I am a child with a beard, right? Yeah, I lick the foil. I'm a foil licker. I lick the wrappers. I'm like my cats. Yeah, they're doing their thing. I don't have any cat videos for us tonight. I saved up a whole bunch of them. And I eventually will go through them. I just haven't had time. I'll make time sooner or later. I will. I promise. So Mike's stuff is locked in the backyard. I think maybe sometime this week, though, I want to work on Mike's motor that's hanging and just kind of clean it up a little bit. Even if I have to drag the hose in here and connect it to my bib in here and just give it a quick cleaning out the door. We'll see. If it depends upon if it warms up a little bit. Because otherwise it'll just make more ice out there. But not that I really care. It's just going to make more ice out there anyway because everything is starting to melt. It'll freeze at night. So what's the difference? And then when it loosens up a little bit more, I'll drag the two machines that I need to drag. I think I have some room in the shed to put one of the snowblowers. I got to fix the green one. And whichever fits in the shed, I'll put in the shed. And then if I have to leave one out for a little while, I'll have to cover it again somewhere. Because I want to get Big Mike's tractor in. And I also got that little yellow Cub Cadet walk behind. I'd like to fix that. All it really needs is it needs the belt put on, a quick going over because he wants to sell it. And he says he has blades because he damaged his blades. And then I can give it back to him. So I think if I get a chance this week, I'll try to drag that out. But I got to cut a path to it. It'd be harder to move. Right now, it would be very hard to move the big tractor, towing the big tractor with my tractor. I'd have to set that up. I need room to negotiate. You can't just cut a path because I need a proper path for my tractor, trying to drag another very heavy tractor and maneuver it. Now, there's plenty of room in front of the garage to maneuver it. So once I get it from the backyard, I'll be able to maneuver it out front of the garage to get it into the garage. So that's on deck for next week. Take it one day at a time. Hopefully it doesn't storm again. I hope everybody did well this week and is okay. And I know for the most part, the country, even with all the crap, what was weird, unfortunate, really sad, not only were there a lot of accidents that people got hurt, a few died, but there were people that were dying from the cold exposure. When it's this cold, just be careful. Papa goes, cupcake, yum. So Brett goes, for those interested, the vid is called Craftsman Snowblowers, Then and Now. Great title, right? Great title. Brett goes, put it in the microwave and see if it makes sparks. Yeah, my microwave sparks anyway. I think it's, I want to say, I'm not sure. There's a baffle where the magnetron shoots out the microwaves. There's a cover, and I think it's mica, and it blew a hole through it, and is arcing around the inside of the microwave. If you put something in there that causes too much back, like SWR, like back waves, it will arc. It generally does not arc. So if the food is able to absorb more of the microwave energy, it doesn't arc. If the food rejects it more, like if let's say you drop in like a frozen stick of butter and you want to just kind of, soften it up a little bit, it'll just go, and the cats go running and the girls are like, whoa, stop. And it does startle you. Like we need a new microwave. I could probably replace that. I told them, don't throw it out. I want the magnetron. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. Like I said, I want to get out of here a little bit earlier tonight, kind of do my thing, put my feet up. It's nice and warm in here. I'm going to be up a little bit longer, and then I'm going to bed. So I'll see you guys later.